Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike here, taking a look at the DRF race of the day for Thursday, August the 22nd, race number 2 at the Spa. Let's take a look at the field. Mile and a 16th. It's the Grade 2 Ballston Spa. Fillies and mares 4 and up. Only a field of 5 entered for turf, 6 through 8, main track only. And you know, Chad Brown's got 4 of the 5. We'll see if Todd Pletcher can upset the apple cart with Surprisingly.
Surprisingly's got her work cut out for her here, Dan, surrounded by all these Chad Brown fillies. I guess the question of the race is, are they going to boot Butte Cachet home again here? They've already booted her home twice in major graded stakes races right on the front end.
And that's been the key point for Butte Cachet. When she gets to the front and she drops the anchor, she's very tough to catch. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Butte Cachet may not get to the lead. Delahaye, according to the Timeform US pace projector, might be slightly faster. It was weird because when I talked to Chad before the matchmaker, he said he thought that maybe Delahaye was a little bit faster from the gate than Butte Cachet, and then Butte Cachet made the lead under Frankie Dettori. I have a feeling Delahaye is going to be a lot more aggressive this time.
I would hope that they would try something different. I mean, it's not like when you go back and watch the full replay, Dan, and everybody can do that with their free formulator PPs here. Delahaye broke fine from the gate there. It felt like if they wanted to lead with it, they could have had it. And for whatever reason, Flavor and Pratt didn't want it. So they just sat in behind. That was a race that you can see it right there in your PPs. It was slow early. It was fast late, and if you were trying to close, you had no chance.
Surprisingly, it was trying to close. And this is a mare that's done pretty well without winning this year, just knocking on the door in some of these starts. And maybe just the last race didn't set up for him, perched wide every step of the way and just not able to make up late ground. The question is, will she get pace this time around, cutting back to a mile and a 16th? At least she has shown the ability that she can stay close. I wonder if Jose Ortiz is going to try to snag the pocket going into the first turn and then hope for a trip.
Yeah, that's what I think they should do, because you're right, Dan. She is tactical enough to get that kind of a trip in here. And it didn't really work out for her last time in the matchmaker because she was just stuck on the outside the entire way, and ultimately was in a photo with Delahaye for third, and Delahaye just sat on the inside for most of the trip. So it's not hard to argue that Surprisingly ran at least as well as Delahaye did last time with no real chance. I like her as a horse. I like her form overall. I don't think she's in over her head against these horses, and she might be a very fair price in here.
Maybe the compass, the number 2, it's her time because she has yet to get it done for Chad. She came over here with a little bit of a reputation, beaten favorite in her first 2 starts. They ran her in the Diana last time out, and she was just sort of over and behind horses in the stretch in a race won by her stablemate Whitebeam on the front. So maybe she didn't get the right setup. Maybe she didn't get the right trip, not clear until too late. I just didn't love the way she was finishing up.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. And the other thing too, Dad, that you have to always keep in mind, and if you go back and watch that Diana, you can watch the stretch run, see her over behind horses, never really coming clear, and feel like, yeah, she had a little bit of an excuse there. But that's her running style. That's the trip that she got in the distaff turf at Churchill. That's the trip she got in the Justa Gave. The trip she got last time. They just take her back, and she's always trying to rally, usually through traffic. I didn't think she ran that well in her first 2 starts over. I'll just say that I didn't love her distaff turf mile, and I didn't love her Just a Game. I guess she ran a little better last time, but it's hard to tell because she never came clear.
I really liked Delahaye when she won the Mint Julep 2 starts back. I just thought that was a really strong performance, maybe not against the strongest field, and perhaps Pratt rode her a bit too confidently in the matchmaker, not being as aggressive as he could have been out of the gate. All in all, she's had a decent trip, but I think the pace was just too slow and she couldn't make up the needed ground. She's back reunited with Tyler, who was aboard for the race 2 starts back. I'm expecting a good performance.
Yeah, I am too. It does feel like maybe she's on the upswing, and for whatever reason, that trip didn't work out last time. It did seem like if they wanted to be more aggressive with her, maybe they could have been part of that pace. And then who knows what would have happened, Dan. I thought she ran fine trying to close into a really slow one, though. We'll see. I mean, she does have to move forward if she's going to win this race, but I think that's a possibility.
Butte Cachet has won 2 graded stakes races this year, and I think it's fair to ask, is she as good as she looks on paper? She could easily be dressed up because her 2 wins came when she was able to control glacial paces and sprint on home, as she did in the matchmaker. She was able to go 50 and 3 to the half, 115 and change turning for home. The horse sitting second, Sacred Wish, was sitting second every step of the way, and Butte Cachet is able to get the better of that horse in the final 16th of a mile. If you go back to her form in 2023, it was pretty good when she didn't need the lead, so I'm not sure how good she is. She's at least in very good form.
Yeah, it's a really good point you bring up though, Dan, because you're right. I mean, she didn't have any major wins last year when she got over here, but she ran well in those races, and she did it without the lead. And now that she's shown that she's a little bit more adaptable, you can do sort of whatever you want with her. I don't know. Maybe it's just a big advantage for. I personally could never bet her off of the two recent wins because she's going to get bet off of them. She'll be a shorter price in this race, and I do think she's a little bit dressed up anyway. And I would never take a short price on her. I won't be shocked when she wins again.
Based on her big season in 2023, a win in the First Lady, a close fourth in the Breeders' Cup Mile, I think it was fair to say coming into this year that Gina Romantica was supposed to be the best of the Chad Filly and Mare Turf horses, and she's underperformed a little bit. I think you make excuses for some of her races. The Diana last time out, while the race flow might not have gone to her favor, she had a chance as we turn into the stretch of the race. She's right there at it in the thick of things, and she's grinding it out, and she finishes okay to be third. I'm not sure she's as good as she is last year,
Yeah.
but boy, I still think she's one of the better ones of the division.
I agree. I'm concerned that she hasn't really taken that step forward though this year. Dan, I felt like that she could because this is another race. The pace was pretty slow. They were sprinting home, and she did make a wide move on the turn there to get herself into contention and just got sort of out finished at the end. She ran fine in there. What are you supposed to do with her, Dan? I mean, if you feel like she hasn't come back as good as she was last year, she's the morning line favorite of this race. I get that she's dropping out of 6 straight grade ones. Maybe this is just a way better spot. I'm not taking a short price on this horse.
6 through 8 entered main track only. So before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button for the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. It's Travers Week, and we'll have you covered on DRF TV. Top pick time for the Ballston Spa. I think you're probably on the right one. I'm making a little bit of remorse not having Delahaye up closer. I liked her last time out. She might have been pace compromised. I think she might be just as good as these, or at least has some more upside.
Yeah, I think that's why I took her. I think she does maybe have some more upside because I do think she's going to have to improve to win. Maybe she can do it. I'm just not thrilled with the form of anybody else. If I'm being honest, Dan, I hate this race. I doubt I'll have a nickel bet on it.
Butte Cachet, I'm going to kind of zig where everyone else is zagging. I think everyone else thinks she's dressed up, and perhaps she is dressed up. I also think she's pretty decent, and it's not like
Yeah.
she's going to be completely pace compromised here. She'll be first or second turning into the stretch, but this is a much better field than last time. So demand at least some value. 4523 for me, 3215 for Mike. It's the Grade 2 Ballston Spa, the race of the day for Thursday. Best of luck.